Hello, my wonderful students, and welcome back to another episode of The Pillow Professor, where learning gently rocks you to sleep or keeps you cozily relaxed. Tonight, we're diving into one of the most fascinating chapters of Earth's history, the world of dinosaurs. You're about to join me on a journey through prehistoric jungles, across ancient seas, and even into the realm of feathers and flight, as we unravel the secrets of these magnificent creatures who once ruled our planet. By the end of tonight's lecture, you'll know what dinosaurs really were, why they grew so big, how they lived, how they vanished, and how some of them might be closer to us than we think. So, if you love learning, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to The Pillow Professor for more cozy, dreamy explorations of history and science, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And don't forget to drop a comment if you learn something new tonight. I'd love to hear what surprises you the most. Now, settle in, fluff your pillow, and let's go back in time to the age of dinosaurs. When you hear the word dinosaur, what comes to mind? Giant lizards roaring across a tropical forest, towering monsters with teeth as long as your forearm. Well, let's start by clearing up what dinosaurs actually were and what they were not. Dinosaurs were a specific group of reptiles that belonged to a branch of the evolutionary tree called Archosauria, which also included creatures like crocodiles and the ancestors of birds. What made dinosaurs different was how their legs were positioned directly beneath their bodies, unlike modern reptiles whose legs splay out to the side. This upright posture helped dinosaurs grow taller and run faster than most other reptiles of their time. Another thing that made dinosaurs unique was how diverse they were. Some were small and delicate, like Compsognathus, which could fit under your arm. Others, like Argentinosaurus, stretched longer than a blue whale and weighed as much as several elephants combined. Many people think dinosaurs were scaly, drab, and reptilian, but paleontologists have discovered that some were covered in feathers, brightly coloured, and perhaps even capable of display behaviours similar to modern birds. And speaking of birds, well, we'll get to that surprise later. For now, remember, dinosaurs weren't just big, scary reptiles. They were a diverse, complex, and fascinating group of creatures that adapted to an incredible range of environments over millions of years. One of the mysteries that's fascinated scientists, and probably you too, is how dinosaurs managed to grow so colossal. Why were so many dinosaurs giants compared to today's animals? Part of the answer lies in the world they inhabited. During much of the Mesozoic era, when dinosaurs thrived, Earth's climate was warmer, and oxygen and carbon dioxide levels were different from today. This lush environment meant plants grew rapidly and in vast quantities, providing ample food for enormous plant eaters. But there's more to it than just having a good salad bar. Dinosaurs had unique biological adaptations that helped them grow big without collapsing under their own weight. For instance, many large dinosaurs like sauropods had hollow spaces in their bones, making their skeletons lighter. They also had extremely efficient respiratory systems, similar to those found in birds, which helped deliver oxygen throughout their massive bodies. Scientists believe that growing big also provided advantages against predators and helped regulate body temperature. A bigger animal loses heat more slowly, which might have been helpful in maintaining a stable internal temperature. It's incredible to think that a creature like Argentinosaurus could weigh around 70 tons, yet still walk gracefully through prehistoric forests, munching on leaves from trees as tall as a 6-story building. So while our modern animals might seem impressive, dinosaurs were in a league of their own when it came to size, and they achieved it through a perfect mix of evolution, biology, and the environment they lived in. Now that we know what dinosaurs were and why they were so big, let's explore how they actually lived their daily lives. What did they eat? How did they socialize? And did they really roar like in the movies? Dinosaurs came in all shapes and sizes, and they had equally varied diets. Some were strict vegetarians, grazing on ferns, cycads and conifer trees. These plant eaters often had long necks to reach high branches or beaks designed to snip tough vegetation. Others were fierce predators. Think of creatures like Tyrannosaurus rex with its bone-crushing jaws, or Velociraptor, which, by the way, was much smaller and feathered compared to the Hollywood version. Carnivorous dinosaurs evolved sharp claws, keen eyesight, and fast reflexes to chase and capture prey. But not all dinosaurs were solitary hunters or wanderers. Fossil evidence suggests that many lived in groups, herding together for protection or working together to raise their young. In places like Montana and Mongolia, paleontologists have found entire nesting sites where dozens of dinosaur eggs were laid side by side, indicating that dinosaurs might have returned to the same spots year after year, just like modern birds. And as for roaring, while we'll never know exactly what sounds dinosaurs made, many scientists believe their calls were likely deep, resonant rumbles or low-frequency sounds that could travel long distances rather than the high-pitched shrieks we often hear in movies. So the next time you imagine a dinosaur, picture it as a dynamic, social, and surprisingly caring animal, whether it was protecting its young, migrating across ancient plains, or defending its territory from rivals. One of the greatest mysteries in Earth's history, and a topic that still captivates scientists, is how the dinosaurs vanished. About 66 million years ago, our planet suffered one of the most catastrophic events ever recorded. A massive asteroid, roughly 6 miles wide, slammed into what is now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. This impact released an unimaginable amount of energy, creating wildfires, sending debris into the atmosphere, and blocking sunlight for months or even years. Without sunlight, plants couldn't grow, and without plants, herbivorous dinosaurs began to starve. Carnivores quickly followed as their food sources dwindled. Global temperatures dropped, acid rain fell, and ecosystems collapsed. But it's important to remember that while dinosaurs, as we picture them, the big land reptiles, disappeared, not every dinosaur lineage went extinct. Some small, feathered dinosaurs survived the mass extinction and evolved over millions of years into the creatures we see flitting around our backyards today. So in a way, the age of dinosaurs never truly ended. It simply changed shape. Here's the part of the story that always sparks surprise and delight. Are dinosaurs still with us? The answer is yes. Birds are dinosaurs. That's not just a poetic idea, it's a scientific fact. Modern birds evolved from small, feathered theropod dinosaurs. They inherited features like hollow bones, air sacs for efficient breathing, and even some behaviors like nest building and caring for their young. If you look at a chicken's scaly legs or a pigeon's quick head movements, you're witnessing echoes of ancient dinosaurs. Some birds even have clawed wings when they're young, a feature left over from their dinosaur ancestors. DNA studies and fossil discoveries have confirmed that birds are not merely distant cousins of dinosaurs. They are, quite literally, living dinosaurs. Next time you hear a bird singing at dawn, remember, you're listening to the modern voice of a dinosaur, carrying forward millions of years of evolutionary history. It's a mind-blowing thought, and it connects us directly to the incredible creatures we've been exploring tonight. Imagine standing in a forest, craning your neck upward, and seeing a creature whose head sways gently among the treetops. That's what it would have been like living alongside the sauropods, the true giants of the dinosaur world. Sauropods like Brachiosaurus diplodocus and the mighty Argentinosaurus were the long-necked, long-tailed giants that grew to lengths exceeding 30 meters and weighed as much as dozens of cars. But how did they manage such enormous bodies without toppling over or overheating? Their long necks allowed them to reach food high up in trees or sweep low across the ground without needing to move their massive bodies much. Their pillar-like legs were incredibly strong and supported their colossal weight. And inside, their bones were ingeniously built with air pockets, reducing weight without sacrificing strength. It's also believed that some sauropods travelled in herds, moving slowly across vast landscapes in search of food. Fossilised trackways show multiple individuals walking side by side, suggesting a life of social companionship and migration. Though gentle giants, sauropods were living marvels of engineering, evolution's way of reaching for the sky. Now, let's ruffle some feathers, quite literally, and talk about one of the most exciting discoveries in paleontology: dinosaur feathers. For a long time, dinosaurs were thought to be scaly reptilian creatures, but over the past few decades, fossils found in places like China have revealed something astonishing. Many dinosaurs, especially smaller theropods, were covered in feathers. Feathers didn't start out for flight. They likely evolved for insulation, helping dinosaurs stay warm, or for display, helping them attract mates or intimidate rivals. Some feathers were simple, hair-like structures, while others were complex and colourful, much like modern bird plumage. Dinosaurs like the Microraptor had fully developed flight feathers on both their arms and legs, suggesting some might have glided through prehistoric forests. Even famous predators like Velociraptor sported feathers, giving them a far more bird-like appearance than the leathery monsters we see in movies. It's mind-boggling to think that, beneath the fierce teeth and claws, dinosaurs were evolving the very features that would one day lift their descendants into the skies. During the Mesozoic era, Earth's oceans teemed with marine reptiles like ichthyosaurs, plesiosaurs, and mosasaurs. These creatures often get lumped in with dinosaurs, but technically, they belong to different branches of the reptile family tree. Ichthyosaurs look like a mix between dolphins and fish, with sleek bodies and enormous eyes perfect for hunting in deep waters. Plesiosaurs had long necks and small heads, gliding gracefully with their 4 paddle-like limbs. And then there were mosasaurs, gigantic marine predators that could grow longer than a school bus, patrolling the warm seas in search of prey. These marine reptiles dominated the oceans and filled ecological roles similar to sharks, dolphins, and whales today. While they weren't dinosaurs, they were certainly part of the same fascinating prehistoric world, showing that the age of reptiles extended far beyond dry land. So, while our focus tonight is dinosaurs, remember that Earth's prehistoric story is even bigger, stretching across both land and sea. You might wonder how paleontologists know so much about creatures that vanished millions of years ago. After all, no one alive today has ever seen a dinosaur. So how do scientists piece together the story of these ancient animals? The answer lies in the fascinating field of paleontology, a science that's a bit like detective work. Fossils are the primary clues. These can be bones, teeth, eggs, footprints, skin impressions, and even fossilized droppings called coprolites. Each of these tells a part of the story about how dinosaurs lived, what they ate, and how they moved. Technology has become a powerful tool for paleontologists. CT scans can peer inside fossils without damaging them, revealing brain shapes or tiny details in bones. Chemical analysis can identify pigments in fossilized feathers, giving hints about dinosaur colors. And 3D modeling helps reconstruct how dinosaurs might have walked, hunted, or interacted. It's a constantly evolving science. New discoveries are made almost every year, rewriting what we thought we knew. Just think, the dinosaurs we imagine today look very different from the ones scientists described a century ago. Science is always on the move, and the story of dinosaurs is far from finished. Let's turn our attention to some of the most unique-looking dinosaurs of all, the armored dinosaurs, known scientifically as the Thyrophora. Imagine walking through a Jurassic forest and spotting a dinosaur whose back bristled with rows of plates, or whose tail ended in a deadly club. That's what it would be like to meet a stegosaurus or an ankylosaurus. Stegosaurus is famous for the large, kite-shaped plates rising along its spine. For many years, scientists puzzled over the purpose of these plates. Were they for defense, temperature regulation, or perhaps a display to attract mates or intimidate rivals? The truth might be a combination of all three. Then there's Ankylosaurus, a tank on legs, covered in thick, bony armor from head to tail. Its tail club was powerful enough to break bones, a serious deterrent for predators thinking about making it dinner. Despite their fearsome looks, these armored dinosaurs were herbivores, quietly grazing on low plants. Their body defenses evolved to protect them in a world full of massive predators. These dinosaurs remind us that in the age of dinosaurs, survival came in many forms, and sometimes armor was the best defense nature could provide. Now, let's talk about something truly heartwarming: dinosaur families. How did dinosaurs raise their young? Were they doting parents, or did they abandon their eggs to fend for themselves? For a long time, scientists thought dinosaurs laid their eggs and simply walked away. But then, paleontologists discovered fossilized nests, eggs, and even adults preserved in brooding positions, protecting their nests just like birds do today. One of the most famous dinosaur parents is Maiasaura, whose name means good mother lizard. In Montana, researchers found entire nesting colonies of Maiasaura, complete with eggs, hatchlings, and juveniles. Evidence suggests these dinosaurs returned to the same nesting grounds year after year and cared for their babies after they hatched. Some nests show baby dinosaurs with worn-down teeth, indicating their parents brought food rather than leaving them to forage. This suggests that at least some dinosaurs formed strong family bonds and put significant effort into raising the next generation. It's a touching reminder that even in a world of giants and predators, moments of tenderness and care existed, making dinosaurs feel closer to us than we might ever have imagined. Picture this: thousands of dinosaurs marching across dusty plains or wading through ancient rivers as they follow the changing seasons. Did dinosaurs migrate the way modern animals do? Evidence from fossilized trackways and bone beds suggests that many dinosaurs traveled great distances in search of food, water, and safe nesting sites. In places like Alaska, scientists have found fossils of herbivorous dinosaurs that would have experienced long periods of darkness during the winter. Some paleontologists believe these dinosaurs may have migrated south during harsh seasons, while others suggest they adapted to cold, snowy conditions. Herbivores like ceratopsians and hadrosaurs likely moved in massive herds to find fresh vegetation, while predators may have followed, stalking these traveling buffets. Migration would have helped dinosaurs survive droughts, seasonal floods, and fluctuating food supplies. Such journeys were dangerous. Crossing rivers meant risking predators lurking in the water, and traveling in herds required complex social coordination. But the instinct to migrate seems to be a trait as ancient as life itself. So when you watch flocks of birds flying south for winter, remember that their dinosaur ancestors might once have made similar epic treks across the primeval Earth. Let's dive into one of the most colourful mysteries of paleontology. What colour were dinosaurs? Were they drab and grey, or did they sport bright, dazzling hues like tropical birds? For decades, artists and scientists could only guess at dinosaur colours, imagining them in earthy greens and browns. But in recent years, amazing discoveries have provided real clues. Under powerful microscopes, scientists have found preserved pigment structures in some fossilized feathers and skin. These tiny structures, called melanosomes, can reflect colors ranging from blacks and browns to iridescent blues and greens. For example, the small dinosaur Anchiornis has been shown to have a color pattern of black and white body feathers and a reddish crest. Skin impressions also show that some dinosaurs had scaly textures, while others had patches of feather-like filaments. And while large dinosaurs like sauropods might have relied on camouflage, smaller species may have displayed bright colours to attract mates, signal danger, or blend into complex environments. So the next time you picture a dinosaur, don't imagine a dull, scaly monster. Instead, imagine a vibrant creature striding through prehistoric forests, possibly shimmering in colours as beautiful as any bird we see today. Let's step back and look at the bigger picture, the world dinosaurs lived in, and how it changed over time. When dinosaurs first appeared during the Triassic period, Earth's continents were joined into a supercontinent called Pangaea. Imagine a single massive landmass stretching nearly pole to pole. As the Jurassic period arrived, Pangaea began to break apart, creating new oceans and isolating groups of animals on different continents. This shifting geography played a huge role in dinosaur evolution. Dinosaurs isolated on different continents developed unique shapes and features, leading to an incredible variety of species across the globe. The climate also changed dramatically during the age of dinosaurs. The Jurassic world was generally warm and lush, full of giant ferns and conifers. By the Cretaceous period, flowering plants had appeared, transforming ecosystems and offering new food sources for herbivores. Volcanoes, rising sea levels, and shifting coastlines created ever-changing habitats, testing the adaptability of dinosaurs and shaping the paths of their evolution. Understanding Earth's shifting landscapes helps us realize that dinosaurs weren't simply creatures frozen in time. They were dynamic animals living through one of the most dramatic geological periods our planet has ever known. Behind every dinosaur skeleton displayed in a museum, there's a tale of adventure, rivalry, and sometimes even sabotage. Let's travel back to the 19th century and meet the fossil hunters whose fierce competition changed paleontology forever. This chapter of history is known as the Bone Wars, a period when two American paleontologists, Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel Charles Marsh, were locked in a relentless battle to discover and name the most dinosaur species. Driven by ambition and pride, these two scientists funded expeditions across the American West, sending teams into rugged wilderness to dig up bones. Their rivalry was intense, and sometimes downright petty. They accused each other of stealing fossils, tampering with evidence, and even destroying bones to keep them out of the other's hands. Despite the chaos, their efforts led to the discovery of some of the most famous dinosaurs we know today, including Stegosaurus, Triceratops, and Diplodocus. Though their methods were sometimes questionable, the Bone Wars dramatically expanded our knowledge of prehistoric life. Museums filled their halls with magnificent skeletons, sparking public fascination with dinosaurs that continues to this day. It's a story that reminds us, science isn't just about fossils. It's also a very human journey, full of rivalry, passion, and the pursuit of knowledge. Let's talk about how dinosaurs have captured our imagination and become stars in human culture. From toys to movies to books, dinosaurs are everywhere, and they've been fascinating people for centuries. The word dinosaur itself means terrible lizard, coined in 1842 by the scientist Richard Owen. Ever since then, dinosaurs have become icons of mystery, power, and wonder. The discovery of giant bones inspired legends and myths long before people understood what dinosaurs really were. In modern times, movies like Jurassic Park have turned dinosaurs into cinematic stars, sparking curiosity and sometimes a few sleepless nights. Museums around the world proudly display towering skeletons that draw millions of visitors each year. Kids grow up knowing names like Triceratops, Stegosaurus, and T-Rex, and many even dream of becoming paleontologists. Dinosaurs remind us how vast Earth's history truly is, how much change the planet has seen, and how life can transform over millions of years. They're not just creatures of the past, they're ambassadors from a lost world, helping us appreciate the wonder of life and the power of scientific discovery. So while the age of dinosaurs ended long ago, their impact on our imagination and culture remains as strong as ever. Finally, let's look forward into the future. What's next for dinosaur science? Are there still secrets waiting to be uncovered beneath the rocks and sands of our planet? The answer is an emphatic yes. New technology is transforming paleontology at a breathtaking pace. Advanced scanning techniques like synchrotron imaging can reveal details hidden inside fossils without damaging them. Scientists can now glimpse blood vessels, nerves, and soft tissues, offering clues about dinosaur biology that would have been unimaginable a few decades ago. DNA is unlikely to survive from dinosaur times, but paleogenetics is helping us understand evolutionary relationships between dinosaurs and modern animals, especially birds. Researchers are studying how certain genes in birds control traits like beaks, claws, and even tail length, offering tantalizing glimpses into how dinosaurs looked and functioned. New fossil sites continue to appear, especially in regions that have been unexplored or politically unstable in the past. China, Mongolia, Argentina, and even Antarctica are revealing stunning new species, each one rewriting parts of the dinosaur story. And perhaps the biggest future questions revolve around colour, behaviour, and sounds. How exactly did dinosaurs communicate? How complex were their social structures? Did they dance, display, or even sing like birds do today? The study of dinosaurs remains an unfolding adventure. And who knows, perhaps one of you listening tonight might become the next great paleontologist, discovering a species that changes everything we thought we knew about these ancient giants. Well, my brilliant students, we've reached the end of tonight's journey through the world of dinosaurs, a journey that's taken us across millions of years and countless wonders. We've discovered what dinosaurs truly were, how they grew to towering sizes, how they lived, socialized, and even cared for their young. We explored the rise of feathers, the reign of armored giants, and the dramatic extinction that changed Earth forever. We marveled at creatures of the seas, learned how paleontologists pieced together the puzzle of the past, and saw how dinosaurs continue to shape our culture and science today. But above all, I hope you've come away with this powerful idea. Dinosaurs aren't just relics of a vanished world. Their story is still unfolding, with new discoveries waiting to be unearthed and mysteries still lingering in stone. And in a very real way, dinosaurs live on all around us. In the birds that sing outside your window, in the fossils waiting to be found, and in the spark of curiosity that lights up when you learn something new. Thank you, my wonderful students, for joining me on this prehistoric adventure. If you enjoyed our time together tonight, please give this video a like, subscribe to The Pillow Professor, and tap that notification bell so you'll always know when class is back in session. And I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments which dinosaur fascinated you most, or if there's another topic you'd like to explore in future episodes. Until next time, sleep well, dream of mighty creatures beneath ancient skies, and remember, learning never goes extinct. Good night, students.